That's
I
a hot
miss.
take.
Yeah,
Now that
I
I've
miss type.
beaten Fortnite. Mike Minotti is talking about Fortnite. Mike Minotti's talking. He's tweeting.
Jeff
Now that I've
Grubb
beaten
is talking
Fortnite,
about
it's
Fortnite.
time.
We've beaten Fortnite. It is over. Am I live? We should be live. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, you're live. I guess
Okay.
you.
Properties. There we
Got
go.
kaleidoscope shirt.
I mean, it's called Paisley, but whatever.
Paisley? Okay, I believe you.
Yeah, thank you. Let's see, this is going to be...
You have no reason to lie to me, don't you? About
I
your
have,
t-shirt?
I have no reason to
Earlier
lie
your
to you.
shirt?
All right.
True.
I just know that is the material my mom's clothes are made out of.
Yes, exactly. That's right. I mean,
Wow.
she
That's
made this for
brilliant.
me.
I think you
Oh
look.
shit!
I think you look submissive and breathable.
Thank you. That's exactly what I want to look
There
like.
you go.
That's what Paisley does to people.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's see. I'm going to
Just saying, I should, you know,
get this in here. Is this going to work? Probably not, no.
just praising the homies, you know.
Okay. I just need a second to
It's
do
okay
something.
to be homosexual.
That's right. You got to tell your homies they're fly.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
I'm fly.
Yes, that's right.
Keeping them up there.
Mike, your booty is
Pretty
fly.
fly for a white guy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Chat, what's better, GT or Super?
Oh my god.
No anime.
That's the only thing we've been talking about it in the last.
Yeah,
2
you are in the
months or some shit
firm
like that.
minority here, Nick.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you're the only one
Wow.
who goes to people in the Discord and types no anime.
I don't type no anime.
No, you put the picture of the penguin.
Yeah, you put And it's like, oh, this guy's kind of an asshole. I don't like him. And then we kick you.
Wow.
Slowly working. Our plan is to insert anime so we can kick Nick.
Nobody asked how much I spent on GameCube games this month.
Oh my god.
How much did you spend?
I'm not gonna ask.
I said don't ask.
Mike, I know
gonna
how
ask
much you
anyway.
spent, and I am terrified for you.
I don't think you do.
I have
buy
a
that
good
Fire
idea,
Emblem?
man.
What do you think I spent?
I think you've spent $700.
Okay, it's lower than that.
Okay.
I gotta ask,
500.
did you buy Fire Emblem?
He did.
I did buy Fire Emblem. I
got
didn't
a
Okay, well, yeah, that.
You got a deal. You got like 20% off.
There's Fire Emblem more things. The only thing I said no to was Ultimate Muscle because it was like that's $80. I'm like, okay, never mind.
And it's too cool for you anyhow.
Yeah.
That art
80,
style
just
is
80
just
for that
revolting.
gem, for that beautiful
It is
game
perfect.
with Ramen Man and Dick Van Dyke.
Dick Van Dyke.
Dick Van Dyke?
Columbo star Dick Van Dyke.
Is it?
Well, I was
no,
watching
it's Van
Columbo last
Dyke,
night.
isn't it?
No,
No,
it's
it's
not.
Van Dyke.
Dick Van Dyke.
Dick
Is this Van Dyke? Wow, they
That's
went
why it's so
all
good.
in, huh? It's just greater than I expected.
I'm almost set up
Dick.
over here. I just gotta.
Oh, did you get Eternal Darkness, Mike?
I have it. That's one I actually still have from childhood. I still
Okay,
just have that
okay.
one.
Eternal
So
Darkness.
it's over there. It's ready to go. So don't worry, Beef. I didn't just buy. I don't. How much is Eternal Darkness? I bet it is actually.
Yeah, you
I
play
bet it's
the
like an
obscure
$80 one,
game?
right? Let's see.
I'm gonna say it's over 100.
Really?
I say it's over 9,000.
Eternal Darkness complete price
Wow.
102.95. So
There we go.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I
good for me.
did the joke.
Which one do I have?
Surprised my computer's still running all the shit I'm doing right now.
I have a couple. I'm surprised that Tales Symphonia is actually relatively cheap. I guess that's like the one JRPG everybody did buy. So Tales Symphonia not very expensive. You can get that.
Was Symphonia re-released on Steam?
It was released on some
It's
other
on PS3
PS3
and
okay.
Steam.
And Steam? Okay, well there you go. Yeah, if a game gets re-released, then value goes down.
That got released with its sequel on the Wii that no one liked.
Well, another one that's still kind of high on my list is Skies of Arcadia, even though that is a re-release, although granted of a game on another not super popular system. Oh man, it's actually more expensive on GameCube than it is on Dreamcast.
Yeah, the price of all these games correlates to how many are out in the wild. So the lower runs of some of these, like I knew Eternal Darkness would be worth quite a bit simply because it's an M-rated game. So even
What-
fewer of those.
So maybe next month, I will just get Skies of Arcadia, and then I'll feel okay. Maybe I should actually like make myself beat like Fire Emblem or Batten Kaido.
You don't need to
before I
get
Skies
all
of
the
Arcadia.
games.
No, I don't want to get all of them. I have a list.
You can just get
Oh,
all of
shit,
them and
he has
never
a
play
list.
any of them.
Fuck. Is
got
it
a
a
list.
Excel spreadsheet or what is
Oh,
what's
it's
your list?
yeah, it's a what do you call that? It's not Excel, but that
It's a
style in
doc?
Drive. It's a document.
Well,
Ah,
sheets.
I have a duck.
It's got 29 games on it, but a bunch of them are gonna get marked off here soon because I bought them. Some of them are gonna be very expensive, like Disney's Extreme Skate Adventure, that Universal Studios theme park game that I like, even though it's stupid. I mean, once Fire Emblem comes in, I think Skies Arcade will be the most expensive thing on here. Is Sands of Time expensive on GameCube? I hope not.
it shouldn't be.
You should get the
I want
Wario
that.
with,
It was
with
literally
the,
on everything.
Yeah.
Right.
get the
Oh
Wario
my
with
gosh,
the
it's like super
Yukawa.
cheap on GameCube. It's like $14. Damn, how have I not found
Yeah.
this yet? Nice.
It's literally on anything.
Nice.
I'm getting Batten Kaitos, but Batten Kaitos Origins I don't have yet. I bet that's gonna be fucking expensive. Let's see.
Mike, what are you
Okay.
using for these prices? Price charting or?
Yeah, I'm just gonna price charting. Seems to be
Can
about right.
you quickly check Metroid Prime for me?
It's got to be like $20 still.
Metroid Prime's not. I think it's like more like 40, Jeff. Honestly.
Really?
From
No,
what
I think he's right. I think it's cheap.
I mean, it sold like what, 3 million
$37.50
copies?
for
Okay.
complete.
Okay.
So about
Interesting.
40-ish. It's not bad.
It was on the GameStop Quick Show bargain bin, and I was just
Yeah.
like, "Whoa, there's no way this game is available for like less than 20." That's
Again,
crazy.
people
Yeah.
bought a lot of them, and then it got re-released.
A Mario Party game's like still
Well, it's
$60.
not that much. You choose $40. $40 for like a 20 years old video game.
I bet you would have a hard time selling that game for $40, honestly.
How much is Metal Arms glitch in the system? Because that's one I really
That's
want.
probably like $40 too.
No, yeah, not bad. It's like $30. That's
Oh,
good.
the nostalgia, bro. Like, nah.
What else? Simpsons Hit and Run. I don't think it's gonna be that much. Okay, how about R Racing Revolution? The weird Ridge Racer's kind of like more realistic spin-off that also came out for PlayStation, Xbox. Okay, that's like $20. That's good. Not much. Oh, Dom. I don't even know. If
How
I
much
wanna
is
All right,
watch.
everybody, we're about to start. We'll be getting on here in about a minute.
Chibi Robo's too much. Smash Bros. I don't even know.
Yeah, Chet is like,
Adamas
what
gotta
the
be worth
fuck
a
is
lot.
going on?
Chibi Robo,
They're
very-
doing the
Oh
podcast.
my
Don't
God.
worry about it.
Chibi Robo's like the most expensive one yet. Chibi Robo's like $256. Holy shit!
Yeah.
I'll be like,
Wasn't it
"Hey,
only
Chibi
available?
Robo."
Wait, that was not the one that was only available at Walmart. That was a later
the
Chibi
DS,
Robo.
Bro, it's not
Yeah,
the Robot
As
Tyson.
DS.
yeah.
I'll get Chibi Robo once I get everything else. Maybe that'll be my special treat.
You know, you could just emulate these games.
You can also just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I don't remember Chibi Robo being that good.
People like it. People say it's like a gem.
Oh my god.
Napper, you have Chibi Robo? Congratulations. Want to sell it?
Robo. You wanna sell it? Yeah.
Oh, Cubovore's ridiculous, Groove. I looked at it once. I didn't even put it on my list. Like, nope. Not
Oh
getting
man, what's going on
Cubivore.
there?
I didn't even think Cubivore came out here. Yeah, the loose price for Cubivore is $100 just for the disc. The complete game is $575.
Sweet merciful Christ.
Yeah,
You
that
guys
one
hear that?
I will just emulate. Yeah, I heard
Yeah,
that, Jeff.
we heard it.
They don't hear that in chat
Hey,
though. Now
you
they hear
guys
it.
hear me?
Okay.
Hey, you can't hear me?
Hey,
Okay.
Dan Riker got a victory royale today too.
All right.
Y'all playing against bots. It annoys me so much. Of course y'all gonna win.
We weren't playing against
made
bots.
it that way so you can win.
I'm not
In
playing against
desktop
bots.
format?
No, we've been playing for too long.
Yeah,
We have
No,
old
we
accounts.
push you with bots the long ass fucking time.
No,
For
I-
sure.
My account's old. It's not a new account. I played this
But
game
you
before.
haven't been playing for a long
No,
while.
I don't think it works. I
And
mean, I
you were
think
playing with Grubb, who
You're just saying
Grubb play
things. You're-
one match every a man.
You're
Like,
just saying things.
I'm not
You
saying
can go
things.
look at the names and see if they look like
You
bots or
can
not.
go
No,
look
they're-
at the
they're good at-
fucking
they're good
move,
at
and
hiding the
they're fucking
names.
Bots.
they weren't bots.
He was killing dudes that were running, and she was like standing there.
Listen, they
turning
were
like
little
90
kids.
degree, running
No
to
one
the other
said they
side,
weren't little
turning
kids.
90 degree,
I
running
think
to
it's
the
just a
other
bunch of little new people who are excited about anime. I don't
Yeah.
think they were bots.
Yeah, these probably
I
a
think
bunch
they-
of kids on their iPad.
Yeah, they're
but
even worse
they're
than
not
bots.
Yeah.
They're anime fans.
They were like wearing like weird skins
Gross.
and stuff that the way the bots do not actually. The bots are mostly default like variants.
Yeah. Yeah, no way. Yeah, there's a bunch of Vegetas and stuff out there.
Yeah.
Of course, it's not like the bots have skin too.
No. No.
Bot races.
Nope. They're a bunch of
No,
default
The bots
motherfuckers.
don't have feelings. The
Dirty,
bots- we
dirty
don't-
default players.
Why is my shirt so wrinkly? Probably because I, had
Turn
it in
around
the
90
box.
degree.
Why is
Run.
mine so paisley? Yeah, we got it going on. Damn flashes. All right. Guys, we're gonna start this podcast.
Yes.
Oh,
and-
you have the music? Oh yeah, you have the music.
yeah, we tested it and everything. I'm gonna count it.
Yeah, you're right.
and we're gonna start
Did
it.
you tweet, Jeff?
No, of course not. Fuck you. All right, hang on.
Oh,
Well, we.
Damn, boy, were you just frying chicken in there?
I don't like it. I love Gruntilda's ass.
Oh my god, the way you say it too, Jesus, it's aggressive.
Deep thought.
Yeah, I love Gruntilda's ass.
No.
Okay,
I'm
gonna
That was thunder.
Oh, yep, there it is.
If my power goes out, you'll know why. There's a storm going in.
I really don't mind being in Ohio that much, but the above ground power lines after being in Colorado, where it's like there could be the worst blizzard ever, but all the power lines are underground, so the power would never go out.
That's interesting. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like the more west you go, the more common that
We should
is.
definitely just all be doing that.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like the look of power lines sometimes. But that's just because I grew up in the
I don't know if I
Midwest.
do?
I don't know if
Yeah,
I
I
like
do.
dislike
easy
the
to
look
steal.
of power lines.
I mean, like I think of like
You don't have to
Japan,
think.
like Japan, like is like got like a lot of really interesting and beautiful architecture and stuff, and then like power lines everywhere. And to me, that's like I don't know, it adds character. All right, I'm counting down. We're starting. You ready?
Mikey's ready.
Damn,
5,
boy,
4, 3.
Hey, you guys hear me? Start cheering now! Yeah, let's get this over with. Yeah.
Woof woof. Hi, I'm Mike Minotti, and I am a Nintendog.
Hi, I'm Jeff Grubb, and I'm a Nintendog.
And we are the last of the Nintendogs. Today, we are going wave racing. We are Battle Royale winners, and we are going to fix 2D Mario. Jeff, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. We did the Bombcast today. That was a lot of fun. And I put together my Simpsons arcade machine before that. And it was like hot in my basement, so I got all sweaty. So I was doing it shirtless. So I'm pretty sure that was one of the sexiest things that's ever happened.
Yes. That's very important work, Jeff, because me and AJ are going
Yes.
to be at your house in about a week, and we will be playing the Simpsons arcade game. So I'm glad you got it ready for us.
It's ready to go. It absolutely is. I'm like, that was like a good excuse to like put it together right away. I'm like, they're going to be here next week. If I don't do it now, I'll have to do it the last minute. And I'm like, I'm going to want to like be doing other stuff at the last minute. It's like cleaning up and things like that. So
It took some heat off me, too, because AJ and Chris were basically bugging me to buy that arcade machine. Like, you don't have kids, you have money, buy this so we can play it. Jeff, did you see this deal?
I used our work account too, so it's like, yeah, we got
There you
the
go.
game mess funds went towards that. So
That's
Less-
important stuff. That's right.
less
That's
taxes that we
content,
owe.
baby.
hell yeah, it's a tax write off. Let's make content.
Yeah, something like that. Sure. Jeff, I enjoyed the Bombcast because I'm a very stupid animal man, and I like it whenever my name is said, and my name kept getting said.
Yes, yeah, and wasn't all me this week either. Jan was mentioning you too. So
Well, I was
yeah.
giving Jan those spicy Rumbleverse tips that Turbo Sean gave me first, but then I passed on to him. So it was good stuff.
I'll mention
good
Turbo
stuff.
Sean all next week. I'll mention him 5 times on the Bombcast.
There you go. You do that.
Yeah.
You know, we were playing Fortnite or before. So that game's on Switch. We weren't playing it on Switch, but there's a Nintendo connection. But all that
It's great
Ball
on Switch.
shit-
It's good. A lot of people
Yeah.
play it on Switch.
Yeah. It'd be kind of fun to actually check out there sometimes, but it works very well on PC. Obviously, we were having fun just doing duos, no build mode, Goku and Bulma. I think we got second place, and then we got first place because we are heroes.
Yeah, I mean that first round, like I was getting a lot of shots, and then you killed him, so you had 9 kills, and then the round where we won, you had 14 kills, and I had 6 kills. Although I got the winning kill, so I'm gonna count that one as
We
2.
kept the revive trail. Spice. Well, like that whole time too, we were actually trying to like do the mission for the
Yeah.
Indiana Jones quest line. Thing.
Uh-huh.
We were doing some Legends of the Hidden Temple shit also.
Yeah, but we were like doing a pretty good job of like yeah, things were spicy, but when you would go down, like it was like not like, oh, this is the end for sure for him, and I'm gonna have to like go revive him and do a lot more risky stuff. It's like, no, we can get out of this sticky situation. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's a pretty good game still. All that Goku shit is in there right now on Switch. You can go play probably one of the best Dragon Ball Z games ever now, Fortnite.
I mean, what else would be there? There'd be Fighters, Fighter Z or whatever it's pronounced, like the Budokai games. There's like a bunch of those single player ones that are. I think some of them are bad, like sagas.
Yeah, I think some people like the GBA RPGs, or maybe they're DS
I like the
or whatever.
Legacy of Goku games fine. I mean, they're like Zelda-ish. They're fine.
Yeah.
And then there was that newer one that I think people liked. Okay,
Kakarot. Yeah.
Kakarot was fine. It's just like an open world action game.
Right.
People were okay with that one. It's almost, there's so many weird characters in Fortnite now, Jeff. It's almost getting weird that there aren't Nintendo characters in there.
Yeah, I mean, and there's like Nintendo characters in other games in this sort of like this universe where like Epic owns Rocket League now, and you could play as like the Mario cars in there and stuff. So it's like
I guess
it's
cars
just
is slightly more palatable than guns still for
it's
Nintendo.
just the
But
guns.
I mean, it's just Goku running around with a shotgun, and it's just like at some point, like they would never be okay with Goku dabbing and shooting people with shotguns. Now everyone's mostly just okay with it, Jeff.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't feel like a war game or something like that. It's just it's video game paintball, really, is all it is. And I don't know. Mario has a gun and fucking Rabbids, so come on, let's get over it. Let's make it happen. I mean, maybe not. You don't have to start with Mario. Put Samus in there. Let's just get Samus in there, right next to Master Chief and Kratos, or whoever the fuck is in there, and then that would be great.
Kratos is in there.
Yeah.
Jeff, I want you to actually read the super chat we just got from John Cody, because this needs to be addressed from our last podcast.
Why do these kids do this to us, Mike? Okay. John Cody, for $2 American says Yoshi's Island is not a good game.
Thank you, John. Appreciate the support. Now listen, Jeff. Here's why this is happening is because on the last podcast we disparaged Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze.
All right, okay.
And I think we said use Yoshi's Island as it's fine. It's no Yoshi's Island. So now everyone's coming at us, say not only are we stupid for underrating Tropical Freeze, people may not be using the word stupid. That may be projecting, but also Yoshi's Island is just a game that old people pretend is good.
Oh man. The Tropical Freezies are after us, Mike.
John Cody says in chat he uses his real name. He's not a coward. I respect that.
Yeah.
This is no X-Bot killer situation.
This is night and day compared to X-Bot Killer, 100%.
Yeah.
This is the children coming for us, though. Yeah. This is still...
It is scary, disgusting that there is just a generation of people now who are obviously, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is better than Yoshi's Island, and I just can't handle it, Jeff. I cannot handle it.
Okay, if Yoshi's Island do they think any of the Yoshi games are great? I can rent a car, says John Cody.
There were some people in one of the comments, one of the episodes, say that actually Woolly World is definitely better than Yoshi's Island. I was like, no way.
Fucked up thing to say.
I play Yoshi's World and Yoshi's Crafted World. I can't remember which one was which. I forgot almost everything about those games that they're beating them. There's just no way that those two... Yoshi's Story, also not great. At least it was kind of memorable. It was simple and not very exciting, but it was somewhat memorable. I don't know, Jeff. But look, I'm sorry for saying anything bad about Tropical Freeze. I'll take it all back. Yeah, but please don't throw Yoshi's Island into that pit where you guys have already destroyed Mario 64 and Super Metroid. Now Yoshi's Island was never good. Oh no. What's next?
I don't know.
Ocarina of Time is going to be coming. It's going to be Ocarina of Time was never good.
Yeah.
Have they done that yet?
I'm sure that's happened. Yeah. It's going to be Wind Waker. They're going to go back to that and be like, that's for little kids.
It's coming back again. Yeah. First it was like, no, we're not accept Wind Waker. Wind Waker's the best thing ever. Now Wind Waker sucks again.
Yep, exactly.
Oh no. These people are disgusting. What is it? It's just like a bunch of Jeff Gertzman alt accounts?
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. There's a website where you can do people's voices, and there's a Jeff Gertzman on there, and I'm just going to make him say Yoshi's Island is a good game. I literally did that, and I'm like, okay, that's all I needed to do. I'm not going to actually put that on the internet because I'm not going to live with the consequences of making those choices. But I just did that. I heard it, and I'm like, yep, there it is. I've heard him say it. Now I can move on.
All right then, Jeff. Let's get into the news here. We'll let everybody continue to destroy our lives slowly with their comments. Hey, good news for you, Jeff. Wave Race 64 is, in fact, the next Nintendo Switch online game.
What's this? What's this I hear? Oh, it's happening! It's happening, Wave Race! The best game coming to Switch. It's happening. Woo! 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 Yeah! It's happening.
Oh my Jeff, I'm so happy for you.
Yeah.
Actually, congratulations.
Let's fucking go.
Let's go. We did it, Jeff. I expect you to just be thinking some absolutely ridiculous track times on this game now. This is going to be your new neon white. Or
Exactly.
Astrobot.
Yes. I'm gonna set some records in this shit once and for all. I'm pretty
August
excited
19th,
about
Jeff.
this.
August 19th is coming out, so not very long.
Friday.
Basically at the end of the week. Yep. Yeah, fantastic news. We were always kind of scared. Are we getting to this? Well, not only are we getting it, Jeff, but it's kind of like better news than we thought. The water looks really good. It has that. What's the brand that's back in it? You know this better than I do.
Kawasaki. Sorry, I had to put it back on.
I just like saying it, but like, because they weren't in like the Wii or Wii U Virtual Console version.
Right, they took out all the Kawasaki stuff from the Wii release on the Virtual Console, which sounds right. Yes, and then the expectation was like they probably would just put that version out. But it seems like Kawasaki was like, no, go ahead, use it. That's fine. It's fine. Go ahead. So that's what we got.
And look at Chunky Kong just living his best life. Good for him.
Yeah, he's feeling it. He's definitely feeling it. I don't know why I put so much Donkey Kong stuff in here. I'm just like,
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of hype there. They're hyped boys.
Absolutely.
They're very excited. Yeah, it would make more sense if it was Diddy Kong Racing, I guess, but that's okay. I was surprised that we got Wave Race before Diddy Kong Racing, but I'm happy about it. I'm into it. I'm very excited, Jeff, because I like this game too, but I haven't played it as much as you have, and it's been a while since I played it, so I'm excited to give it another go.
Yeah, I'm expecting most people to come to it and be like, oh, this is actually very good. I'm also expecting some people to go like, oh, this feels bad after like they play it for 10 minutes and be like, oh, it's actually challenging and requires you to like you're only in so much control. The water is a big part of it, and if you aren't like moving your watercraft with the water and the waves and the physics, it can feel like you're like losing a lot of control a lot of the time. But I otherwise, if you like kind of understand like, okay, if I use this wave to make this turn, it feels so good when that happens. Still kind of the idea that they nailed this out of the gate so quickly when they were doing a 3D game is still astounding to me. So just kind of completely can't wait for everyone to be playing this game again. I'll be playing a lot of it. I have been playing a lot of it on my Steam Deck for like the last month. So whatever, I'll keep playing it on my Switch. I don't care.
Do they look at data for releases like this, Jeff? There's any chances like, wow, this Wave Race is getting more love than we thought it would on Nintendo Switch Online. Maybe we should make a new one.
Oh, I hope so. I hope they look at that stuff. But I mean, I don't know. I bet it's like not that much news to them. I bet they know that there's like people who talk a lot about this game. I bet they still also know that if they put out a new one, it would do what, 2 million copies sold, maybe.
Yeah.
It's not a Mario sports game, so it's going to be kind of below most of those. So probably like a 1.5 million, maybe. Yeah, it's probably something like, hey, listen, we understand that, but we'll put the old ones out and people can live with that. Maybe eventually we'll get around to the GameCube one. Not as good as this one. It's just not they kind of lost some of the magic in that feel of the waves and the physics. But
I need to play that again.
Yeah.
I think that one's relatively cheap. I got to get that from my
a launch game, Blue Storm.
Actually, a launch game. This the Wave Board's like a launch window game.
Yeah. Noter J asks a new Wave Race before a new F-Zero. Probably not. I would say probably a new F-Zero first.
Do you think so? We're getting this at the end of summer. Makes sense. Do you think we're gonna get 1080 at like?
Yes, I think we get 1080 in the winter. Yes, exactly. Like probably like November or December, honestly, and that would be great. I think that would be if we get these two games and then maybe Excite Bike 64 in between there. That's a good bam over the next 6 months, right? I'm all for that.
Excite Bike 64.
I mean, Excite Bike 64 is another one that I think people will play and be like, oh, this feels weird until you like realize, oh, you can do these awesome tail whips and the physics again is just so on point. Again, like this is where the N64 shines. It doesn't. Well, none of the games look great except for Wave Race's water does look great.
Yeah, it actually looks pretty good.
It looks pretty good. But they like the physics out of the gate from all of these games is just phenomenal, and it feels better than most games that try to do this stuff to this day. most snowboarding games struggle to feel as good as 1080 to this day. Like going from like a snowy surface to an icy surface, just incredible feeling with the rumble pack, all that stuff. It's just so good. So yeah, I mean, they have a lot of stuff they could still pull to the N64 that doesn't require a ton of a ton of work from the lawyers and the teams like that. Like, yeah, Tommy Hilfiger stuff is in 1080. If they can get Kawasaki on board, they can get Tommy Hilfiger to be like, listen, it's just old. It's an advertisement.
It's like, we could never, because Tommy Hilfiger has their brand there. Like, bitch, Tommy Hilfiger's around. How much of a check do you really have to write for Tommy Hilfiger?
Right, and it's like
Nintendo.
Yeah, and it's like a check. Like, it's like people are just going to see the Tommy Hilfiger logo in this game, and it's just it's brand awareness. Like, Tommy Hilfiger is probably like not exactly as popular as it was back then. So the idea it's like popping up on this super popular Nintendo platform, can we just have a handshake agreement here? I'm sure the lawyers want to get that handshake agreement, but that, it just requires doing the work to get that. Kawasaki did it. Tommy Hilfiger would do it. I don't know if Excite Bike 64 has similar stuff. I think some of those bikes are licensed, but I don't know. This gives me hope that all of that stuff is on the table for a possible launch on Nintendo Switch Online now. But hey, starting with Wave Race 64, I couldn't be happier. I just love this game. I want more people playing it. That's great news for me.
What if the next thing they announce is Mario RPG finally coming?
Right. I've totally given up on that, and I'm just like, I got that Retroid Pocket 2 or 3 Plus or whatever it is, the Retroid Pocket 3 coming with a larger screen, and I'm just gonna start it over there because my last Retroid Pocket 2 where I started playing Super Mario, but the screen got broke, and so I'm just like, all right, I'll play it again on my Retroid Pocket 2 Plus. I never got the save transferred, so I'm like, no, fuck it, I'm just gonna start it over and I'll play it there. So. Yeah,
Jeff, I know you love Wave Race, and I've heard some opinions on Jet Moto from you. What do you think about the other water-based racing franchise?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I can't.
Hydro Thunder.
Hydro Thunder. Thank you. It's like something Thunder.
Hydro Thunder.
Hydro Thunder.
Pretty good. It's a pretty good arcade racing game. It's no Wave Race 64. It's no Wave Race. Not.
Was there a Hydro? Hydro Thunder was arcade, and there's a Dreamcast port.
Dreamcast game.
Nintendo 64 port.
I think there was. I think there was. I'm pretty sure, but it's like. I feel like it was like known as a Dreamcast game. It's fine. It's fun. It's a good game. Yeah, it really is. It's a super solid game, and it's got a lot of that great hydroplaning feel of like going too fast over water. They nail that stuff, but it's not. It just doesn't have that visceral feel of fighting against the water that Wave Race has.
It's weird. Hydro Thunder never really had a sequel. They made like an Xbox Live Arcade sequel in 2010, but still, there's not enough water-based racing games, Jeff.
Yeah. It's there should definitely be more. I mean, man, if they could just make another Wave Race, that would be ideal.
Be cool. All right, Jeff. Before we get to the next question here, thank you to everybody who is listening live. If you give us a thumbs up,
thumbs up
appreciate
button.
That. Helps when people find the show. If you have given us a super chat, we will read it before the end of the show. Your super chat could be a question, it can be a hello, it can be about today's topic, which is going to be, what would you do to make 2D Mario game interesting again? So if you have any thoughts on that, we're going to read our responses from the community on that one a little bit later on. But Jeff, continuing on with the news here. A small fire broke out at Nintendo's development center in Kyoto, likely started by some device being charged. Doesn't seem like it was a very big fire, Jeff, but, that's something.
Yeah, the staff put out the fire before the 8 fire trucks, fire engines showed up. So yeah, they probably just put their coat on it and stepped on it or whatever, like you do in the movies.
Since nobody got hurt, we can make a lot of jokes about this now.
Yes, exactly. Right, exactly. So I mean, you said it was caused by Miyamoto vibrating so hard because he was thinking about Chris Pratt.
Like he's getting back dailies from Chris Pratt's voice sessions, hearing his voice, and it was like, I never expected this, and the bone friction.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I think it's Aiji Inuma's new haircut. I mean, it's so buzzed down that now he is he's slipping through the atmosphere even faster, but he went too fast and the atmosphere caught on fire and exploded. Yeah, exactly.
Maybe it was them just actually trying to get Wave Race 64 running on the Switch. It took a couple tries. Those water physics were rough at first. They had to do a lot of work. All right, Jeff. Kotaku has had a new report today.
Yes, they do.
about Nintendo America's testers saying that they faced years of sexual harassment. It noted that several employees had created a group chat on Nintendo's Microsoft Teams server called the Laughing Zone. It was supposed to be a lighthearted place for coworkers to share memes with one another. That changed when a male translator was added to the group. Soon, he posted Reddit screenshots about why Vaporeon was the best Pokemon to have sex with. The Kotaku report went on. Several employees had created a. This is the same thing here, but yeah. So Kotaku said that 10 sources for the article were reached out, and so they talked to multiple people here. They all told a story of like corporate culture where sexist behavior was commonplace and very little action was taken to address it. I mean,
there was a story about how like that story of the people making like sexual references in a Slack is something that happens at a lot of workplaces. What you hope is when someone says it bothers them, which this person said this was bothering them, and then nothing happens. That's like the real issue. And someone says this upsets me, and then nothing happens. Like you got to do something at that point. They also said that this person talked about Genshin Impact and who's the Paimon. There's like a child character, and he's like, it's okay to be sexually attracted to Paimon. Is that again? Help me out, chat. But and it's like,
I'm not up on my Genshin Impact, but yeah, you know, the character's a child. It's weird.
Yeah, the character's a child. It's weird. But the
it's more than weird, to be clear. It's, you know, I
mean, it's weird, and it's like again, it upset people, and it's work. It's a place of work, right? We have conversations about sexualizing characters in the Nintendo like universe in our Discord that people volunteer to be a part of, and even then, I'm pretty mindful of if things are stepping over the line. We have banned words, right? We have banned things where it's like this is becoming uncomfortable and weird, and we're gonna stop this. But
we recognize too. I mean, it's Jeff. Like me and you, we have a very comfortable dynamic with each other, and sometimes it means that we make these jokes about things. I mean, I think you guys said the word "cum" about 50 times in the last bombcast.
Yep.
But you know, there is like room reading that goes on there, things like that.
Yes.
And even still, there's a difference between like, you know, being on a podcast and knowing what the tone of that is, and then being in like your work Slack, and it's just, you know, it's just a different level. Like the thing is weird, and then the Genshin Impact thing is real weird.
The other thing is apparently that when the story is people working as contractors weren't allowed to go to the Nintendo holiday party, and one way that they could go is if they would give in to the dating pressure of people, red badges, people who are full-time employees at Nintendo, who were apparently treating the contractors as a dating pool. Super duper uncomfortable power dynamics. A lot of this stuff, the dates on a lot of stuff like 10 years ago, but still, like, I'm glad these stories are coming out, even if it is a little bit like late. It's good that these stories are coming out. This is a problem, and you hope like Nintendo's dealt with it, but we don't know. So kind of just like, okay, tell us what's going on there. Tell us what has happened there in the past, and hopefully improvements have been made.
You gotta put pressure there. There's clearly this weird power dynamic with the part-time contractors that is bizarre. So getting those people full-time, getting them organized, that seems to help a little bit, but people just gotta know a little bit better.
Yeah, yes, and Nintendo and the industry at large should be using fewer contractors in overall. More of these people should have a very clear pathway to becoming full-time employees without having to worry about the dynamics between them and someone above them, and being afraid to say no. That is a terrible position to put someone in. That is akin to sexual assault on its own. And it's like, if the work is encouraging that, that is something that must be stamped out and must be dealt with. And again, the dates on this a decade ago, but these are the stories they were able to get for this profile. We don't know if it's been dealt with fully. But again, this is stuff that happens across the industry, and of course it happens in Nintendo. Of course, I'm like not surprised at all to hear that this has happened at Nintendo.
Yep, and it's important to point it out when it's reported on. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Sorry for a little bit of the tonal whiplash there, everybody. No great way to go into that stuff.
It's video games, right? Yeah.
Yep, fun stuff. So let us move on now. That is it for the news, Jeff. Let's get to our community questions. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Benji Glasskey says, "Hey, dickweeds."
Hell yes, I love that. Just that.
Thank you for bringing us back.
Yeah, dickweed is such a good insult. I love it. Ever since I think the first time I heard it was on Mystery Science Theater, and ever since I'm just like dickweed.
It's a good word. When Mario takes mushrooms from a box, he gets bigger and stronger. When I took mushrooms from a box, I got anxiety. What gives? You don't have nearly enough Italian genes.
Yeah, exactly. It all comes down to those Italian genes. Really, like the way that they interact with the mushrooms.
Kickball bronze medalist Bop says, if Nintendo ever released an Elite controller with paddles and all the extras, would you buy one? And what first-party game would they release it with because it would benefit the most from an Elite controller?
Mario Party.
Mario Party. Guess you could just replace the analog sticks after you rub them out.
Exactly. Yes. You're right. Yeah.
It would be like a real gamer's game, so it'd probably be like Metroid Prime 4. Jeff, I kind of complained about the Elite controller before and how it was broken, but all that aside, I don't use the paddles very much. I actually like the Steam Deck's just like back buttons.
Yep.
They're just actual buttons much more than I like paddles. And I understand there's not that much of a distinction between the two things, but I'm saying I don't need those things like those replaceable paddles. Just put buttons on the back.
Yeah, I mean, I like how easy it is to hit the paddles when I want to hit them. But then when I don't need them, that means I am needing to take them off. Where the Steam Deck is just like, oh, if I don't want to hit these things, there's no way I'm just going to accidentally hit one 99.9% of the time.
I feel like it's like I always feel them, even if I'm not using them, at that moment. I always feel like I'm about to touch them or about to
for sure.
them.
Now you can always triple click the button on the top, the connection button, and it disables them entirely. But hey,
too much.
Hey, fair enough. I know. I'm like, listen, I get it.
Dr. Turboset says, when you play the Switch handheld, what's your setup like? Grips, third-party bulky Joy-Cons like the Hori Split Pad Pro, screen protector, thumb grips, headphones, or do you just go stock Joy-Con? Jeff, I raw dog it with my Switch. I got nothing on there.
Mm-hmm.
I know all people like they need to have like one of those cases that adds like the nubs on it, right? Like an actual controller, like the handles. Never's bothered me. I am completely fine with it just the way it is. I don't need any of that stuff.
Yeah, I don't need any of that stuff, but after hurting my hands playing 80 hours of what is it, goddamn? I'm not Astro, but this one was on the Switch. Dead Cells.
Right.
80 or 90 hours of Dead Cells in a week, or week and a half or whatever. I was like, okay, I should probably try to avoid squeezing this tiny little thing too much, and so yeah, okay, fair enough. You know what? You got me. Are you happy? So I use a Satisfy grip, which of course it's called that.
Shut up! No,
it's called that. Satisfy. SATIFYE.
Oh no. Okay.
Okay. And then I've recently gone to like a split pad sort of thing from I have the box here. I'll just show it. I need to actually just do a review of this on my YouTube channel. It's from Nexigo.
Let's get satisfied.
Yeah, let's get that. This is the enhanced Joypad controller, and it's just like an actual.
I like the box.
Yeah, it's a good packaging. It's just like it looks like this, but then you can break them off and connect them to the Switch, and they're like the Hori Split Pad Pro, and they work great, and they light up red and looks kind of stupid, but I like it.
Very nice. Beef Hammer says, happy Tuesday, my fellow meaty man. Jeff, it's time to look into the camera and tell us some insider info. Do you have any information on what is happening with everybody's 1-2 Switch? Did Nintendo scrap the game after the internal testing?
I don't know. I say let's all go bother Emron tonight after the episode. Let's all just add him at the same time and just tell us, hey, what's going on with everybody's 1-2 Switch? His guess for what happens to this is my guess for what happens to this. It gets put into Nintendo Switch Online and forgotten about. And I bet they put it in there and they don't make a big deal about it. And if barely anyone downloads it, they're like, well, all right. And I think that's how this happens. But that's just a guess.
One Up versus CPU says, come here. I got something for you. September 18th, 2018 was the NSO's launch date. So it's about that time again for Nintendo to announce some new NSO stuff. What do you think we'll get this year? Expansions in DLC, Virtual Boy, Game Boy Advance. Yeah, Jeff, are we getting another console this year?
We got to be getting it's Game Boy and Game Boy Color, right? That's that, right? So. I mean, I would love Virtual Boy. That would be fantastic. But Game Boy and Game Boy Color, just easy, get it done, put it on there, call it a day.
Yeah, it must be. And they'll probably just announce that via a tweet, right? Unless they do like a September or October.
Yeah, it's always hard to say like which way the wind is blowing right now. It feels like the wind's blowing toward that and a Sony thing in September, and there's all these other things happening that month. So, but whatever. If it doesn't happen, they can announce it in a tweet. Absolutely.
Dear Mike, I crave the crab rangoon Minotti, and Jeff, I'm just here for the lobster thermidor grub. Jeff never had lobster thermidor in his life.
I've had lobster, but I don't know what the fuck a thermidor is.
It's just fancier. I think there's a lot more butter. Your child will be very upset about you eating meeps.
Yeah, I am not going to be able to eat lobster again anytime soon. No way in hell.
All right, please rank these Nintendo number 2s. Zelda 2, Super Mario Brothers 2, Wario Land 2, Metroid 2, Pokemon Gold and Silver, Donkey Kong Land 2, Disney's Magical Quest 2. Here's how we're going to do this, Jeff. I'm going to start
I'm looking.
top, and I'll just say it's a better or worse. So
okay.
We start with Zelda 2.
Okay.
Is Super Mario Brothers 2 better or worse than Zelda 2?
Better.
Okay. Yeah.
It's better. It is. Zelda 2 is actually better than what people think. Super Mario Brothers 2 is actually a masterpiece.
All right. So Mario Land 2, is that better than Super Mario Brothers 2? Mario Land 3 is better than 2.
Yeah, well, that's where I'm
at.
Yes, no, it's not better.
I don't think it's better than Zelda either. I think it's a little worse than Zelda.
Okay.
And I think Metroid 2 is worse than all of those. I like Metroid 2 fine, but its remakes are better.
Metroid 2 is the worst out of all of these so far. Here's
where I think we'll diverge, because I think Pokemon Gold and Silver might be better than all of those. Pokemon Gold and Silver is very good.
I've never played it.
Yeah. So I maybe put it there. But then Donkey Kong Land 2, I put below everything else. I mean, the Donkey Kong Land games are fine, but they're just much worse than Donkey Kong Country. There's neat that they got it working.
Exactly. There's something neat about them, but you're right. I don't need to be a shit about this. That's fine. Put it at the bottom.
Then Disney's Magical Quest 2, that's a pretty good game. It's probably better than Donkey Kong Land 2 and Metroid 2. Trash. You don't like the Magical Quest games?
I've never played the Magical Quest games.
Yeah, you just try to be mean.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think my order would be Pokemon Gold and Silver, Mario 2, Zelda 2, Wario Land 2, Magical Quest 2, Metroid 2, Donkey Kong Land 2. There you go.
That's fair.
Ed, are you both excited for the inevitable Splatfest in Splatoon 3 that is Game Boy versus Game Boy Color versus Game Boy Advance? I know Mike is. Jeff, maybe not so much. I hope so, because then that would just give me a little extra ammunition, and the whole Game Boy Color is.
There's no way they do that. There's no way. Nintendo themselves, first of all, believe that they're one system.
Yeah, because it inflates the sales numbers for the Game Boys when they do
right.
that.
But if they do it, it would be Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Advance SP, and Game Boy Micro. Like they would do something like that, all in one family, so that it's
have they actually done Nintendo themed Splatfest like that?
Not that I can think of. They've mostly, they'll probably do something like more Nintendo themed, but they've mostly done like baseball or football.
Right. Ketchup or mustard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although it'd be cool. Like, there's so many trilogies. It'd be neat if they did the 3 NES Mario games and stuff like that, but I don't know.
Yeah, they probably won't do that.
Jedi Moss 4 says, as much grief as Nintendo gets for its timed release of Super Mario 3D All-Stars, the weirder move was one they did around the same time with the timed release of the very first NES Fire Emblem for that anniversary. They went through the effort to localize the game internationally for the first time, only to briefly sell it for a few months and take it away, and there was no physical release of that game. When do you think we'll see them bring out that new version of the game? Jeff, was that just some weird experiment? Like somebody at Nintendo got really excited about limited releases, like this is going to be our thing now. Right. We're going to try this.
Here's what happened. Someone inside did a PowerPoint presentation about FOMO.
Yeah.
And they're like, listen, FOMO's very powerful, and people do it in all these games, and they have limited time of events. And then someone said, okay, great. How can we make this weird? Like Nintendo always makes things weird. And then they did this, and then they forgot about it. 100% that's what happened.
Yeah.
Write it in a fucking book, in a history book. That's what happened.
They will release that Fire Emblem at some point. Maybe at some point during the Switch 2's life cycle. Maybe when they get around to like translating some other Fire Emblem games we never got here, it'll like just come with it. I don't know, but I'm sure it's not like gonna be in the vault forever.
Right.
Lossian says, "Hey gentlemen, hope your weekend was great. Jeff, basic bitch hot sauce Grubb, and Mike midlife crisis Minotti. I made that's right, my GameCube's my midlife crisis. I made BLTs for dinner on Sunday, and a thought popped in my head. The BLT is a sandwich that is greater than the sum of its parts. What Nintendo video game is the same, greater than the sum of its parts? Mario Kart 8 Deluxe comes to mind, but what other games would qualify? I mean, it's easy to think of like mini game collections, Jeff, like
Yeah.
Wii Sports and things like that.
Right.
Like Mario Party, even. Like, why is this so good? It's just a board game with Mario characters, and somehow it just kind of all works when it's all in there
Right.
together.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like maybe the Zelda light gun game for the Wii, where you play the bowcaster game, or you play with the
Link's crossbow training.
Link's crossbow training. Yeah, that's greater than some of its parts. There you go.
Is it? I think it's exactly equal to the sum of its parts.
Listen, I'm trying to think of something outside the box here, Mike. Work with me.
Yeah, I gotta get it a little bit more inside the box. I think. Just admit that my ideas were very good.
Listen, yeah, you took all the ones I was gonna say. Yeah, that's the problem.
I'm a genius. You could say Wii Music.
That is significantly less than the sum of its parts.
Yes, absolutely is. Hey, Nintendo.
Chewie's bowcaster training. Yes, thank you, Zach.
Chewie's book. Oh, man, they missed an opportunity. They missed a trick with that one. Mr. Bowler says, "Hey, Nintendogs, during this Splatoon 3 Direct last week, it was mentioned that there would be 2 years worth of post-launch updates. You think this tells us anything about how far off the Switch successor is, or is that reading too much into it?" Nah, because I mean, look, if it's doing really well, they'll do even more support than that. Excuse me, and I'm sure that the Switch 2 will just have backwards compatibility support for Splatoon 3, so it'll all just carry over. So I wouldn't read too much into that.
Yep.
The Uncharted Wolf 5 says, "Hey, Grubberazzi and Mike," just Mike. I just joined the Patreon because y'all's content was worth supporting. Thanks, the Uncharted
Thank
Wolf.
you. Yes, but shout out to everyone who's been joining the Patreon recently. It's been a nice swell of support there. It means a lot.
That's a familiar name. I forget if he's in my Twitch or if he's just been giving us super chats before, but I know that we've interacted with the Uncharted Wolf before. But
he's been super chatting the last couple of weeks.
Thank you. So his question: if Nintendo's next Switch was forced to use a gimmick from their past while still retaining the Switch portability, what would you choose? For example, dual screens, motion controls, etc. I would. I want to shove my face into it and see red 3D objects. I would like. I don't know how you would do it. Maybe it doesn't need to be dual screen, but I would almost like if there's a clamshell design aspect to it again, Jeff. Dual screens, I guess, would be nice just because then I'll be like, now they can easily port all the DS and 3DS games to this, and we can get that virtual console thing.
Yep,
so
exactly.
I guess I would just say dual screen. I don't think that's happening though.
Yeah.
You think they could do it like just like the top screen is like an OLED and the bottom screen is like something cheaper? I don't know.
Yeah, I would almost want them to be like I would like to let them to go like super ambitious, but something that would also not interfere with the core way of playing games. Like almost like try to get like restaurants and point of service sales things on board with like plugging your Switch into something and like transferring stuff like at a location or bring like a lot of point of sale stuff or point of contact stuff where, okay, if you bring your Switch to a resort or something, things are going to be set up there by Nintendo where you can interact with them now and like you hold your Switch up and stuff like that.
It's like when people are using their DS to give them tours of the Louvre.
Yes, like go all in on that stuff. Like it's just like the kind of things where it's like, okay, yeah, it's still the Switch most of the time, but then once you go somewhere, it like has a few extra features or whatever. You could order food when you go to a Seattle Mariners game.
Yeah. Oh, you can order food at McDonald's without having to use their gross touch screen.
Exactly. Yes.
Screaming Turbo Madden asks, "What is your Nintendogs prediction on what the next Nintendo 64 NSO game?" Oh wait, an hour after I typed this question, they announced Wave Race 64 for NSO. Well, what's your prediction for the September Nintendo 64 NSO game? So that's interesting, Jeff, because I don't. You brought it up. I don't think they're going to do another racing game right away.
Yeah.
So maybe they will finally get one of these rare games on there. Maybe they can finally do Donkey Kong 64, or even like something like Blast Core.
Is Hybrid Heaven on there yet?
No, Hybrid Heaven is not there. I mean, they should be able to get Robotron 64. Like, the only reason that won't happen is because they forgot about it or they think people won't care enough, but Robotron 64 should be there.
Yeah.
Now, the problem is, like, because they do one a month, Jeff, I can see them being like, well, some people will be disappointed if it's just Robotron 64. So, like, I don't know, do a month with, like, 3 smaller, they don't have to be, like, these big Nintendo games, right? Like, that'd be cool.
Do you think they could, get Ogre Battle 64 on there to like kind of line up with Tactics Ogre? Probably not. They probably be against
We have
that.
a super chat kind of about this.
Okay.
We'll read later, but
Okay.
I was wondering about that. Did they just port that? Because that would be pretty interesting. Or I don't know. Maybe they want to just remake that one after they remake this other one, right?
Hey,
So,
Chad, should I
that's
go
hard
back
to
and
say.
play Ogre Battle 64? It's one I always wanted to try as a kid and never got around to buying it.
I've never touched it myself yet, Jeff. So I'm gonna play this remake first, I think, and then maybe after that go to this. But
Okay.
people like it. I mean, as far as Nintendo 64,
it's
JRPGs,
Atlas,
it seems
so
to easily be the favorite.
Are they related? They're like sister franchises, but like Atlas made this one. I'm just confused about the lineage, I think.
Yeah, I think it's the same guy. So he slightly changed the name when he went from Atlas to Square Enix or what other. It was the other way around. I can't remember. But yes, there's something like that.
No, but you should go play Tactics Ogre. Well, I'll play the new Tactics Ogre for sure.
Yeah, I was getting mixed.
Although
up
I think
myself.
Ogre Battle looks better. I'm looking at these screenshots. I like the way this looks.
It looks good. It'll be great if that was an NS game. That'd be pretty nice.
Yeah.
Nick Turbo says, "Hey Jeff, we've been disguised Grubb and Mike. Why is the blue show hitting me? I'm in 5th place, Minotti. I can't believe we had our Mario Kart community night on Friday. Jeff, I feel like I'm usually pretty good at video games. I usually feel like I can at least hold my own. I was getting fucking annihilated in Mario Kart. I've never felt more bad.
I mean,
at a
it
video
happens.
game since I was a child. I think it was demoralizing. I just didn't even know what I was doing wrong. I just felt like I was getting hit by a zillion things, and everybody else just wasn't.
Your cart and character choices were definitely like holding you back a little bit.
I wasn't even thinking about it. I was like, oh,
I think for the way that you were
Let's
racing, you probably needed a different cart.
yeah.
But
I think I'm also just bad though.
I think that's definitely part of it. Yeah. I mean, the people you were playing against have played a lot of Mario Kart in like the last year or two, like just being part of this Discord. So. Yeah, we all actually play Mario Kart, and you don't. Well, that's what TurboSean said. Like that's the biggest challenge that you face here.
Nick continues, assuming the next Nintendo system is just a new Switch. If the new Switch becomes a failure like the Wii U, I don't think it will, but just thinking hypothetically, what do you think Nintendo would do? Go third party, split their following console and portable devices into separate platforms again, etc. I mean, it's a hard hypothetical because I just don't see it happening at all unless they did something really stupid. Like what I see them doing is if they accidentally make their next system something that isn't just the new Switch and it fails, then they will just make a new Switch.
Exactly, yeah.
That can maybe happen. But if it's somehow a new Switch and that fails, then I really just don't know what they would do, Jeff. Not really.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they I think they just
third party.
They would just try again and they would be like, we're going to like focus on the things we know work, which would be like, okay, more Pokemon games, like, and they would be fine.
Like, it would be very similar, but not have the Switch branding anymore. Basically, just like how they dumped the Wii.
I mean, they could always just
quickly.
like do like okay, like instead of like doing the hybrid thing, just portable and bring back the Game Boy name or something like that, and like that, like they have a lot of options. Most of them, though, involve if they had to do a retreat, they would retreat toward Pokemon. Like that, there's no way we're going to be in a world where Pokemon is not successful. So anything that makes that work, they're just going to keep doing that.
But they have so much money. It's not like in one bad system, they wouldn't have to be like, oh, I guess we got to go third party now, or with the exit the space. They'll bounce back somehow. Or at least try to bounce back. Lost City Prime says, hello, Jeff. Anime only makes me stronger, Grubb. And Mike, what does nitrogen do, Minotti? I did ask that. Why did I ask that? I remember saying that.
Because you were like wondering like how like manure like works in terms of like making stuff grow. Like why do we need manure? Yeah.
Out of context, it sounds like a pretty stupid question.
Apparently, people said I did a pretty good job of explaining it, even though I was kind of just like guessing. So
there you go.
Yeah. Oh well.
This past week, I played through Metal Gear Solid for the Game Boy Color and was absolutely blown away by the presentation and execution. Amazing sprite animation, complex story, flamboyant bosses, all in a tiny cart. My question, what games have you been most impressed by visually or mechanically, given the limitations of the hardware they were released on? Jeff, this is like number one on my games I want to get for my analog
fuck
pocket.
that game up. Yeah, it's so good.
It's so good, and it's a blemish on Hideo Kojima's career that he like doesn't want to acknowledge it.
Yeah, he's wrong.
He's kind of like succeeded in erasing it from history, which is what bums me out about it. I guess
he is wrong. It is great. It does a great job of like mimicking the style of the PlayStation game in a lot of ways. It feels just like if you were to if you had everything going for you and trying to make a Game Boy Color game feel like that. They nail it. It's good. For me, the answer to this question is probably, Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U. Like the Wii U was pretty powerful, but it wasn't like super duper powerful. And yet Mario Kart 8, like to this day, one of the best looking games in my opinion. Like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe continues just to like look gorgeous every time I play one of those levels. I just think the art is out of this world in terms of that. But I mean, even like a lot of like the Nintendo first party games, the Mario games had all that stuff going for them as well. But yeah, Mario Kart 8.
I was always impressed by those Super Nintendo games that had like the Doom style first person 3D stuff, or like maybe Wolfenstein's better. And it was always weird games like Jurassic Park and Toy Story and Super Nintendo just had these like, and they didn't have FX like Super FX chips in those cartridges. I think it's just like, wow, we figured this out. Isn't that weird? There's even some Genesis games that did something similar. So again, like it's like the Lawnmower Man game or something had some really trippy, impressive 3D stuff, like somehow put into a Sega Genesis card. So that's pretty nuts. Red Joystick Forza game I always go back to. I still think that game looks really, really good.
Oh yeah,
like for PlayStation 1 stuff, especially just like the lighting and the mood. I think that game looks fantastic. It's one of those games like if they remade it. Not most PlayStation games would have to be like you have to keep the PlayStation-ness of it. I would want the PlayStation-ness of that game to still be an integral part of it.
Absolutely.
Maybe not so much like the texture warping, maybe a little bit of the texture warping, but just that kind of I don't even know what you call it, that blockiness, that charm. But again, it's like there's this not a haziness to it.
It's like the PlayStation struggles with like depth of polygons. It's like the Z axis. They didn't have like a Z buffer, I think it was what it was. And so it's like they never knew where the polygons should be when they were like when one polygon is in front of the other. And so like they're constantly calculating that stuff, and so they'd have to shimmy and stuff. And I think that's my basic understanding. Watch an MVG video if you really want to understand. But it's like this is something about it just makes it feel alive and like squirmy and I don't know. Ridge Racer just looks fantastic because of it.
And in that same vein, the Panzer Dragoon games on the Saturn, which is like such a system like ill-equipped to do 3D, yet those games just look so ridiculously good.
Yep.
I love Panzer Dragoon. Gruntilda's ass says, "Sup dogs? How long do you think this current console generation will last? I guess the next Switch gets talked about enough, so maybe this is more of a PlayStation 5 Xbox question. Point being, I'd be happy if we start getting 10 plus year generations, considering the software cannot keep up with the hardware." It's an interesting question, Jeff, because the Xbox One, PlayStation 4 generation lasted a good bit, and partially because they had that refresh in the middle. I think both you and I don't really think we're going to get that refresh this time. We don't think there's going to, or at least to the extent of a PlayStation 5 Pro, right? Like, it's not going to be this kind of almost like, oh man, you definitely probably want to upgrade.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean,
like,
think about all the reasons they
model.
upgraded last time, right? It was the things were significantly underpowered. They were bad overall, and therefore prices were coming down, even though these things were selling very well. Like they were just like they couldn't justify their higher prices. Like, do we feel like we're anywhere close in the next couple of years to these things not continuing to be $500? No way. No way. These things are going to be $500 for years to come. I mean, maybe they will do revisions, but they'll add more space and they will raise the price. They'll raise the price just from a revision, from making things smaller and sleeker with more storage space. And they wouldn't even have and they would probably at that time use a smaller chip process to have wafers that can produce more chips and stuff like that and reduce their costs. But they would just make that so they could use less cooling and less stuff inside of these things, so they could save money on that side. We are just not going to get a revision like that this time, anytime soon, at least. But I still think this generation is going to last a long time, even without a revision. I think it's going to be at least as long as last generation. And that's just because these systems are so much better out of the gate than last gen.
Right.
And
it'll last us a good while.
Right. And we've had the pandemic, which seems like it has elongated a lot of stuff. By this time of last generation, we were really hitting the ground running, especially on the PlayStation side of things, with Bloodborne, things like that starting to hit. So, yeah, it feels like we'll probably kind of be in that space next year. And so you add sort of the time to that, 7-8 year long cycle. I think that's probably right.
Yeah, I think that's about right. 10 years somehow seems long to me. I guess it could happen.
Right. But like, the Switch feels like it could keep going forever and ever, but there's like things start to pile up. We've talked about this where it's like, the piracy and other things come out that make it feel older, even older. Like suddenly like the Switches feel so old because of the Steam Deck and and new systems are out, well, like in consoles, and you're just like, it'd be nice to have something new, and developers are going to be aching for that kind of stuff. So just things start to pile up, and or like on the NVIDIA side, like NVIDIA's probably like, hey, we are working on chips, and these chips will be backward compatible, but the next round of chips won't be. Like, do you want to figure that out? And it's like, oh, okay, so yeah, just more stuff piles up, and eventually like the pressure builds, and they have to do something about it. That'll happen. That's kind of why it's like 7 or 8 years and not 9 or 10.
Hosp says, "Hey, yo, dogs. Just wanted to say thanks so much for the Steam Deck emulation advice. Fallen heavily down that rabbit hole.
Fucking
Currently obsessed with fan-made Pokemon games. The
Yes.
Team Rocket one is an absolute blast, if a little slow. Got me wondering if you guys have any favorite fan-made games. I'm trying to think. I don't play a ton of fan-made games.
I
like
tried
watching-
some Kaizo stuff, but I mean, just
Yeah.
tried it.
I like watching videos about some. Like, there's always good videos on the Sonic ones, and there's that one. It's like called Sonic
Oh, yeah.
Robo Blast 2 or something.
Another
It's the one made
Metroid
the
2
Doom
remake.
Engine.
Yeah.
What's that?
Another Metroid 2
Prime
remake.
2 remake.
That's my favorite one because it came with my Retroid Pocket. I think it came built in there, so I just played it there again after playing on PC. But I'm sorry, Mike, I interrupted you. What were you saying? Which
No,
one?
that's okay. You're a rude jerk.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely.
Yeah, there's like that 3D Sonic game made with like 2D sprites. It kind of looks like that Demon Turf game that just came
Yeah.
out. It was done on like the Doom engine, Sonic Robo Blast 2 or something. It looks really neat, and I want to try that out.
There's that new that new Sonic fan game that apparently people were like, oh, there's like some pedophilia accusations against the creator, so we're not going to cover this anymore. I'm like,
oh no,
I'm like checking Twitter on a Sunday, like waking up like, oh, what the fuck? And I just like put my phone down.
This
I'm
is
like, okay.
the 16-bit version of Triple Trouble, is it? Because I was just about to say I heard about that and thought that would be neat.
I don't know, honestly. I honestly was just like groggily looking at my phone and was just like, all right, fuck that. And then when I went to go check my phone later, like Twitter had stopped like surfacing it or whatever. So
I don't know if I'd call this a fan game, but there's a very good like enhancement mod for Mega Man 3 that gets rid of some of the slowdown in that game and adds a couple nice graphical touches and stuff to that. So for a lot of like big games like that, they're nice. They're called improvement patches, and sometimes they're neat because they just fix little bugs. Like Final Fantasy 3, if you're playing the SNES version of that, improvement patches are very important for that because there was a lot of bugs. There's a bad translation, some visual faults, and things like that.
Like there's been some like fan made upgrades or like complete expansions to like Super Mario 64 that I've been meaning to go to, and fan made massive mod sequels to Skyrim that I want to keep trying, but I just never get around to doing it. I really should.
Next one here is from Bench JC. He says, "Hey Jeff, Weeb King Grubb, and Mike, Dragon Ball Dub is better than Sub Minati." Okay, seriously, Jeff. And I asked this on Twitter. I'm gonna ask you. I mean, you don't actually like that Japanese voice for Goku, where it is literally an old woman screaming, trying to do like a child's voice still, right?
No, I don't.
No one likes that.
No, I don't.
I understand why it's a thing because they just have the same voice actress who was doing Goku's voice back when Goku was a kid, and somehow they just never changed it. It sounds weird. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's if you do, fine. I don't. I grew up watching the dubs on Cartoon
Network. This is not a personal attack against that poor 90-year-old woman. I'm sorry, but yeah, I hate that voice, and I'm actually kind of shocked that Fortnite like just used that. Maybe it's because it's just easier internationally. Like we're just gonna use that voice, the original. But no, thank you.
Enough people watch the subs that it just works.
And then he's Bench continued. I am all digital and hope Nintendo's next system will be backwards compatible. What would the chaos look like if there was no backwards compatible with Nintendo's next system? It'd be pretty bad, Jeff. There's no way. It would be pretty bad. It'd be rough. I know Nintendo can usually hunker down and ignore things. It would be unignorable, I think, the backlash.
I own a lot of games for my Switch. They better all fucking work. They better every last one better work. If they, there are concerns about the chip that NVIDIA is like going to be working on next and not being like just immediately built in with backward compatibility for what has come before. Oh well, figure it out. If you use that chip, figure it out. That's not an excuse. Like you'll just have to figure out a compatibility layer, whatever it takes, make it work. Put a switch in there then. Put a switch in there too. Put both chips in there. I don't give a fuck. Make it work.
Yeah, I'm not gonna keep my old Switch charged and also on my nightstand next to the new one, just in case I want to play Breath of the Wild or something.
And developers are gonna be like, make this work. Like, listen, we'll update Fortnite eventually, but we're not going to update Fortnite day one. And Fortnite, you're going to want Fortnite working there day one. Just make it work.
Exactly. All right. Fluffy Cloud Gamer says, what would it take for Nintendo of America to publicly comment on the recent workplace allegations revealed in today's Kotaku article? Is there a chance they aren't saying anything because of legal reasons? What do you think here, Jeff? I'm going to pass the buck to you on this one.
I mean, I think that they would probably be like, hey, this is something that we're looking into, so we're not going to comment. I think it's also possible like this happened under a previous, a completely different, like, a management group regime. Exactly. So we can only comment so far while we look into it ourselves. I think it's very unlikely that Nintendo of America comments on this. Nintendo of America is like #1 practitioner of Shut the Fuck Up Friday, and they will just shut the fuck up and not say anything unless they are legally obligated to.
The best kind of obligated.
Mm-hmm.
Doc 7 says, hello, Jeff tells other Game S Morning guests they were brought on to make him look smart via association Grubb. And Mike, told by Jeff he was brought on Game S Mornings to make Jeff look smart via comparison Minati. Wow. That's just fucked up. I'm looking at this. My episode of Game S Morning seems to be doing pretty well.
Oh, does it?
Actually, this one from 11 days ago did pretty good. Never mind.
Who was on that one?
Because that was the one with Patrick. It was
right. Patrick,
whatever.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah.
Whatever. It's time for the new blood. It's time for the guy who is younger but somehow looks much older than Patrick to rise up.
You mean everybody? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely everybody. Question. If hypothetically the fire at Nintendo was started by an out-of-control Miyamoto, I don't know what's so hypothetical about that. What was the event news that caused him to go apeshit and attempt to burn the whole place down? Maybe he found out that somebody was trying to put a hat on a Goomba again.
Yeah, right, exactly. It's like, wait, you named that Goomba Jerry? No, all Goombas are Goomba.
They're just a Goomba, and they're called Goomba, and
they don't feel anything.
Then just fire,
right,
all over the place.
And then that Goomba with cleavage came on the screen, and then he exploded. Yeah.
From Nintendo Bro, dear dogs, I've been playing through Pokemon Soul Silver. For the longest time, I didn't really think anything about the fact that rock moves are super effective against flying types. Then it hit me. The quip goes that you kill 2 birds with 1 stone. What was the last eureka moment you've had in a game? The F-Zero one's pretty famous, Jeff, realizing that that's a play on F1 racing.
Sure.
That blew me away.
Yep. Yeah, that's definitely one that occurred to me a few years ago. So the Phoenix Down moment on the Bombcast years and years ago, it while it was happening, it still was not registering with me. I'm like, why is everyone going, what is happening here? And then I'm like thinking. Oh, they had said, Phoenix Down for like minutes ago, and I'm like, what? And then finally, I'm like, down as in feathers, down feathers, Phoenix down, Phoenix, a tuft of Phoenix feathers. Okay.
I didn't realize. Yeah, I guess I've been playing too much Final Fantasy my entire life. I was like, yeah, Phoenix feathers.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, a lot of people just realized that, but a lot of people did not. I don't know. There's a list a mile long of stuff like this that happens to me, but I can't keep it all in my head. Dmitry Glasky in chat. Today I learned F-Zero is a play on F1.
There you go.
Because there's a Formula 3 that happened. That I realized that while watching that F1 movie with Thor and the other guy. And it's like
good.
It's a hella dad movie. If you like a movie where
I liked that Ford versus Ferrari movie a lot, so I need to chase those vibes again.
Oh, you'll really like this one. He races in Formula 3, and then that's slower than Formula 1, and I'm like, okay, then Formula 0 is above that. There we go, F-Zero. That hit with me.
The real sequel would be F-1.
Yes, so exactly. Yes, exactly. So fast.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jeff, that's it for the questions, everybody. How about we take a short break here, Jeff? We'll get back and we will talk about how we're going to save 2D Mario games. We're going to read some super chats. We'll talk about what we've been playing. How's that sound to you?
Sounds good to me. All right, cool.
Guess what Mikey's got to do?
Yeah, I hit the insert ad button. I don't know if anyone actually gets an ad. Yeah, I don't know if anyone actually gets that, the Zaddy ads. But hey, whatever.
Ash Ketchum.
Ash Ketchum.
Yeah, Ketchum. You get it?
Ask, of course. That one I got right away. Like, come on. I was 15, 16 when that stuff was coming out. That one, I was like, okay, that one's...
Mm-hmm.
I love Green Total's ass.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a pirate, suck my dick.
Yeah, Rush is fantastic. It's a Ron Howard movie, right? I think it's probably one of my favorite Ron Howards. It probably goes Willow, then Rush, then way down at the bottom is Solo. Solo's fine. I just don't like it. When's the Cult of the Lamb stream? Very good question, Beef. I've been meaning to do it. I keep putting it off. It's like... my daughter is just like, she started up like a kickstart, which is like, school before school, and I'm trying to get her on like a much better sleep schedule. I know, right?
That's mean.
I know, but she's like 5, so she's super into it because like school's like fun stuff for her still. Trust me, she'll learn soon. Because like kindergarten is starting, and that's going to be the real shit. But like, if I could get her on a better schedule, I'm going to try to stream like a couple hours a night. Not a night, but like a couple of hours a night every couple of days, like and stuff like that. Because I would like to get partner on Twitch. So yeah, and I really want to do that Twitch integration with Cult of the Lamb. I also haven't finished the game.
I was on Chess stream the other night.
Yeah,
last night. Last night, and people were like joining her cult and everything. It's pretty good. You get to make your own cultist too when you join. It's pretty good.
Oh, that's fun. That's cool. So yeah, I want to do
your
that.
cults again.
Yeah, it's a good game.
You want to be in a cult?
I do. I actually want to play this game.
I need to start just naming my members after the people in the Discord anyhow. So, Mike, I'm going to make you tonight.
Well, you should.
Damn,
I
boy, were you just...
I made you and freaking Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, right? And I could only make one character there. I'm kind of mad I'm not in there already.
I just haven't... like those games where like you have relationships with your other characters in the game.
Oh, are you saying you're gonna fuck me in that game?
Well, I will probably end up marrying you. Yes, but then I will definitely sacrifice you because if I marry you, you're worth more when I sacrifice you. So
Great.
Yes,
yeah, it's a harder sacrifice. It's more of a sacrifice.
Sure, yeah, let's just call it that. Yeah, sure.
You can marry Mike if you want to. Why don't you marry Mike?
You can leave your friends behind. If your friends
you don't dance, then they don't dance, then you can't marry your friends. Yeah, there you go. All right.
All right, I'm ready.
Cool.
Are you really ready?
Yes.
Elements.
I get so excited when everybody says you can blink if you want to.
Sorry, I'm just logged into Giant Bomb on that one, so I got stream elements over here.
I thought you somehow deleted everything.
No, we're good.
I think
that would be funny.
I was in New York City like 2005, so a while ago. We were at the top of the Empire State Building. We get to take the elevator, get to the top. We got to the top, and we're leaving. And you're leaving. And you're like in a line. There's like a guy working there. He's like, all right, everybody, you can take the stairs if you want to. And as I walked by, I was just like, you can leave your friends behind. And then as I'm like halfway downstairs, I hear him up there going, because your friends don't dance.
It's very catchy.
I'm so happy.
Okay, I have the super chats for after we do the topic, so I'm ready, Mike. Whenever you want to come back in.
All right. And we are back. Those beef and cheddar boys. Those final two Nintendogs. Those Fortnite Dragon Ball champions. Jeff, we have a topic this week. It's about saving 2D Mario games, or at least making them interesting again. I think pretty much everyone agrees 2D Mario has gotten pretty stagnant in the new Super Mario Brothers era. Someday they're going to want to make a new 2D Mario game again, and we don't want it to just be new Super Mario Brothers. That train has passed. So the question is, what do we do now? So Jeff, what would you do now?
I would make it a 2D Mario 64. And by that, I mean, it is, you're going to be going into paintings, but when you go into the painting, each world is super duper different in terms of look and feel and like physics, like everything is different. So there would be one where, it's like, okay, this plays like 2D Mario, but then the next one is, that Tetris game that has like the rounded bottom, and it's like, oh, you're playing Tetris, but then the pieces get to the bottom and they like fall over because there's like analog physics or whatever.
Yes.
It'd be kind of like that, and it'd be like Mario like flopping over himself and being kind of like a little bit like an invertebrate, kind of having like a jelly feel or something like that. And then the next world would be, I don't know, like it would be more like he's like in vehicles or something, like almost like a mini GTA. And the next world would be something else. Like it would just be like throwing every idea at the wall, like just prototype a bunch. Because this is when Mario's at its best. At least what makes 3D Mario so good is they just come up with a million different ideas and they just throw everything in there. And I sort of want them to have that ability in a 2D Mario, but sort of off the chain, off the charts, completely untethered. You could do anything. I think that would be ideal.
Yeah, I think that'd be good. I don't want to see that Super Mario aesthetic. I don't mean Super Mario like that quintessential Mario aesthetic with the basic pipes. Something that looks like World 1-1 in like most of these games. In like the green hills and they have eyes. Something a little different than that. Kind of a big thing for me, Jeff, is I am tired of the world map. Right?
Yeah.
There's so many world map games. That's why I like your castle and like the paintings idea. Like just something different. I don't know if it needs to be like a Metroidvania or what, but I want some kind of different progression than just going through the world map. Again, Mario 3 was great. Mario World was also good. I'm a little over that. But then there's got to be something aesthetically too. That's got to be a hook here, and that's like it's harder. I would actually kind of like if they did something 2D HD. If it sort of just looked like the original Mario Bros, but with like really nice like lighting and other effects. I don't know how other people would react to that. Or you can like go like the really hand-drawn routes too. But I don't want just, very normal looking the Mario 3D polygons in front of like the 3D levels. Something more interesting than that.
Okay, my other idea. I want them to do Avengers Endgame. I want Mario to time travel to all his other games and fix stuff in the background while the other stuff is happening.
Man.
So
that's not where I thought you were going with Endgame. I assume you meant like the portals, but you mean like the time
the time heist scene, and it's like he can't get seen. But it's like most of the time he's in the background. Most of the time that's like it's not like a stealth game. Most of the time that's not a problem. Sometimes sure maybe, but mostly it's like no, this is 2D Mario running through and in the background it is Mario 64 and he's like dealing with Bowser, but something's different that's going to cause Mario to lose, and you just got to put the pieces in place through platforming so that Mario can continue to throw Bowser off the stage. Just do that, and like just go through his entire history, and then at the end it's like some new stuff and things like that. But that would be you get to like meet the person who's actually been like working against you in this timeline and stuff. So yeah, that's what they should do.
Let's see what our community has to say about this, Jeff.
Okay.
Kickball Bronze Medalist Bop says maybe some sort of collectible that has a glisten to it, shaped like a lovable house pet. Nah, that would just be trouble. Serious answer, I think time is a mechanic that gives them a lot of flexibility. They can mess with art style, how levels played, and bring back old mechanics or levels in new ways with time.
Shit. Sorry, Bob.
Yeah, that's similar. What Cord in chat said, Mario into the Marioverse, and just like that's similar to your idea.
Yeah,
but like the multiverse stuff is so popular right now, and it would be like fun to like see Mario like interact with all these different versions. Like at the end of Odyssey, you get to like be Nintendo 64 Mario, and that somehow just looked great and it was awesome. So like imagine it's like all the Marios from all the games somehow show up. Like Flood is back for a little bit because you do that. All these wacky little things.
Right, and like 3D Mario can't solve this problem. It needs 2D Mario. Like it's still going to be a 2D game, but like there's just you are interacting with those things in a different way because you're 2D.
Mario Maker 2 had like that had the Mario 3D World style, and it was like those mechanics in 2D, and it works pretty well actually. I like that a lot. So hey,
me too.
Benji Glasskey, style it like the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. The platforming levels look like the 2D animations, and the overworld can be the live action sets where you play as Captain Lou Albano.
That's fun.
Actually, the reverse would probably be way funnier. They're little like in the live action part, their little like basement office thing. That always felt super cozy to me.
Yes, me too. Like, yes, they nailed that. Everything. They nailed it. It was like a fun hang.
Yeah. I was like, I know why that one girl like ran away from her parents to hang out there in that one episode. It was a good place.
Was that Peggy Brewster? No, it was not. No,
I don't know what girl it was.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
One Up versus CPU says, "Come here, I got something for you. I want to see the Yoshi Kadabi art style game too, but I'd want Mario Maker to be bundled with it. Being bundled with the new 2D Mario would be a huge deal for the Mario Maker series. Also want to see Nintendo's level designs play around with Super Mario Brothers and Super Mario World." Okay, wait, is Yoshi Katabe the one who did like the manual art and that stuff?
I'll look it up. Yoshi Katabe.
I think so.
I mean, it sounds familiar.
I would like that. If like it just looked like that manual art, that would be pretty cool. That'd be pretty good stuff.
Yeah, yes, he's on the Super Mario video game series and the Pokemon series and television and film. Yeah, I think that's right. Yes.
Dr. Turbo says this. Honestly, I don't think I can make anything up that Miyamoto would approve, but would make each power up have multiple upgrades. Ooh, kind of like Kirby Forgotten Land. And these would allow you to go back and get extra stuff on past levels. Ooh, like Metroidvania. Like extra long claws in the cat suit, allowing you to climb higher and getting extra collectibles, accessing extra areas with harder challenges, or something to make replaying levels after getting full upgrades a different experience. Fluffy Cloud Gamer says maybe a change to the formula where instead of having 8 levels over 8 worlds, maybe fewer levels that are bigger with side platforming areas to get unique collectibles. I personally would like them to get rid of the life system as well, aka make Super Celeste Brothers. Oh, that'd be interesting, actually, huh? They should. You think Miyamoto knows about Celeste? He should.
Yeah, probably. Have you seen that Super Mario World or Celeste in Super Mario World that they've done it like a couple of games done quick?
No.
Yeah, it's a fan remake of Celeste in Super Mario World with Super Mario World like gameplay and stuff. It looks fantastic.
Man, Celeste is a good game.
Yes, it is.
Fat Lucas says Metroidvania Mario, where the entire world is interconnected and Mario's power-ups will allow for backtracking and unlocking new areas. Also, the soundtrack is just Mushroom Waltz from New Super Mario Bros. DS. No other song. Just this guy says either roguelike 2D Mario fighting game in the style Street Fighter 2 in the million SNES era Street Fighter clones, or Mario Pinball. We had Mario Pinball. It wasn't very good. It was especially compared to all the other good Nintendo pinball games like Pokemon Pinball.
No, Mario Pinball is kind of
Kirby Pinball. Mario Pinball was a bit of a miss.
It's rough and slow and clunky and bad.
Screaming Turbo Madden says, make a 2D puzzle platformer for a 2D Mario Brothers a la Klonoa or Oddworld. Oh, like 2.5D.
Yeah.
Being a big fan of puzzle games myself, I think giving Mario a more puzzle-based 2D platformer similar to the puzzle levels from Super Mario Maker 2 would be awesome. Also, the plot is about how Bowser went to puzzle college and is trying to look smart in front of the Mario Brothers. Basically, what I'm saying is turn Bowser into the Riddler. I mean, this is kind of Donkey Kong 94.
Yeah, kind of. Right? Yeah.
So that, but like bigger. Doc7 says, I'd like something like Odyssey with several larger levels with multiple collectibles, objectives, and platforming challenges in each level. The art style would be hand-drawn animation in the style of Yoshi Katabi. That must be him, yeah. And I'd let the writers from the first 3 Paper Mario games come up with a story while Chris Pratt distracts Miyamoto with his quiz. Yes. While Miyamoto's not looking, we'll write a good Mario
Chris
story.
Pratt was a friend all along. We should have known.
Mr. Bowler says, I would like to see a 2D Mario that takes advantage of 3D space. Nintendo experimented some with this in the 2D sections of Super Mario Odyssey, where the 3D space moves to keep Mario in focus. They could take inspiration from other games that had similar mechanics like A Link Between Worlds and Fez and expand on this concept. Those 2D sections in Mario Odyssey did absolutely rule, Jeff, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I loved it. Every time it happened, I was excited. It was always great. There's games like this that I think one's the Pedestrian, where you play as like a 2D, like the walking sign guy, where it's like you can walk across the street and he can like walk, he can like run between different signs and stuff like that in a 3D environment. So I've never played much of it, but I think it like is this concept.
Casual says, I think it'd be neat if they continue with what they teased in Mario Maker 2 with making Link a playable character. More characters with unique mechanics and tiles play. So Super Smash 2D.
Yeah.
Interesting take on it.
Or like, Super Mario Brothers 2, but expanded out with like 16 characters or something.
Speaking of fan games, there was like Flash games like Super Mario Crossover or something where you can basically just play Mario Brothers as like Mega Man, Kirby, Master Blaster. I always say it wrong. It's like just like Ninja Gaiden. So something like that, both just the Nintendo characters, obviously. Diego RP says, I don't want the concept to overstay its welcome before we get other titles more deserving of it, but I could see an HD 2D Mario happening with NES/SNES style graphics.
Yeah.
With further detail, polish, and visual effects to make it feel truly new and fresh. I'm also a huge fan of the background scenery storytelling in a lot of Tropical Freeza stages. I would love that to make a transition into the Mario games. Also bring back Wario as a 2D Mario villain. Yeah, even just that, Jeff, like making Wario the villain again instead of Bowser would be kind of refreshing.
Yeah. Like
There's
just
so many
put
small things you can do.
Right, like having more of like a rival than someone that's just like a straight up enemy and stuff like that. Yeah, that could be cool.
I mean, all those new 2D Mario games had Bowser as the final boss, and like I know most of them were just like escape sequences, but I can't differentiate them in my mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like I know Mario World's Bowser fight, I know even Sunshine's Bowser fight, even though it's not that great. 64, Odyssey, Galaxy 1 and 2, I can differentiate those, even though they're similar. But yeah, all those new Super Mario Bros. Ones, they blend in.
Yep.
Uncharted Wolf 5 says, what I want from a new 2D Mario is to have a much more stylized art style akin to Rayman Legends, which is the best 2D platformer. I won't take any questions. Okay, so like once again, I don't know why I'm doing this to us, Jeff, but like, do people think Tropical Freeze is better than Rayman Legends? because it's not.
It's
right?
not. It's absolutely not. No way. And Rayman Legends is actually the best multiplayer 2D platformer for sure. As good as much as I have fun with Super Mario, new Super Mario Wii and stuff like that, they're fantastic. Rayman Legends is the most fun to play with other people.
Anyways, he continues. I feel like giving a new Mario game an art style similar to Rayman instead of the same plastic look the new Super Mario Bros. Games have can go a long way in fixing 2D Mario's biggest issues at the moment: unique identity. Yeah, like I don't know if it needs to be quite as like I don't know if Tex Avery is the word. Maybe it was kind of Tex Avery-ish, the Rayman Legends thing. Something like a bit more like 80s Saturday morning cartoon would work, kind of like that manual art style. Yeah,
that could be cool.
Yeah. And again, I feel bad. Like, I don't want anybody to feel like you have to pick between Tropical Freeze or Rayman Legends. I realize I'm being a bit obnoxious about that whole thing. Sorry. Tropical Freeze, to be clear, is a good game. I'm not. I don't want to be like, he doesn't like Tropical Freeze. It's a good game.
Yes,
I thought it was slightly overrated, is all. Slightly. And I could be wrong. I have been wrong before. Velocity Prime 1 says, the Mario series has brushed against this idea on occasion, what with the Tanuki and cat suits, but the only way to revive 2D Mario is by pandering to the furry audience. The new princess, a sexy fox, the new power-ups turn Mario and Luigi into swole wolves. Bowser is already a daddy, but we can always find more ways to exploit this angle. I think he's cracked it, Jeff. He's done it.
Yep. This would be very popular in our Discord, absolutely.
Yes, it'll be a big hit. Hosp says, I'd take strong influence from Shovel Knight, try and build a wider world more, have towns you go into to talk to people and buy things between classic levels, loads of hidden doors to get to a new far-flung areas, secret bosses, basically make it feel much more of an adventure a la Zelda. I mean, Shovel Knight might be the best 2D game of like the last 10 years, so I would, aping it might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, Shovel Knight and some of its sequels or whatever, the expansions and stuff, fucking Death,
King of Cards and the Spectre Knight one.
Spectre Knight, yes, yeah, God.
And then Gruntilda's ass says Super Mario Contra. That is all. Speaking of giving Mario a gun, there you go. Give him the sprite shot.
There you go.
Too bad Contra's not popular enough that we can get those guys into Fortnite.
Turbo Sean, are you excited about Peach being a sexy fox? Is that what that what you're okay? All right, I'm timing out.
Gerbear says, "Okay, the good ideas are done. So deep breath. You control multiple characters in an auto-scrolling rhythm platformer. You typically start as Mario on guitar in a silent level, but playing the level well in time to a visible beat builds up your meter, a music note, until it fills, and then the guitar track for a song is locked into place. You switch to a different character representing their instrument, Birdo, a theremin, and attempt to lock. Of course, Birdo plays a fucking theremin. You attempt to unlock as many aspects of the song as you can before you reach level ends. Vocals are typically assigned to a new character, the Phantom. He has an OC in this, who is just the standard vocals for the song. But if you rank S on the track, then you unlock vocals as sung by one of the game characters. Ever wanted to hear Daisy sing Cherry Pie by Warrant? Now's your chance. Not really. Even I'm like, that sounds a bit suggestive. I'm sure this idea is done, but I don't remember where. Well, that's a lot of thought in that one. Revan says, I'd make Mario Cross Rabbids, but it's a StarCraft expansion somehow. Of course, Revan, that beast, that guy who's playing through all Untitled 64 games, he's been working his way through StarCraft 64.
Ooh.
He's like, it's very long, it turns out to be. So he's been on that one for a while. Bench JC says, okay, hear me out. 2D Mario, but you control Bowser. You have a time limit, and your goal as Bowser is to bolster up your minions and castle while Mario is on his way over and take him down. Jeff, it's always like a gimmick or like a special thing when you control Bowser. You think they would ever actually just make a Bowser game?
I feel like on the entire timeline, it feels like eventually they would, right? But I don't know. They made one Super Princess Peach game for the DS, and they never gone back to that. Yeah,
it's weird. We've only had one Peach game, right?
Yeah. So I don't know. Feels like probably not.
It definitely feels like something that would have to happen in a post Miyamoto world.
Yeah, probably. Wow. I love how the show's like, we're just waiting for Miyamoto to die now, everybody.
He can retire. Hey, we all assume that Vince would never leave WWE. He would have to die.
And now we're comparing Miyamoto to Vince McMahon, so yeah.
Sure are. Wildfire Alex says, make Shy Guy the main playable character, literally a brand new game. There you go. There should be a Shy Guy game. What the hell?
Hell yeah.
Hey, it's Adge Guy. Says, a lot of you here haven't played Super Paper Mario, and that's for the best. 2D Mario's gameplay is pretty much perfect, but it is in desperate need of a visual overhaul. No reason we can't use text similar to Ori to give the world a rich, almost painterly look.
Yeah.
Allow the world itself to become much more of a character as opposed to just thematic set dressing for each level. I mean, that's kind of like the thing, Jeff, is we have so many good-looking 2D games that it's just bizarre that Mario, which should be the king of 2D games, is as bland-looking as it so often is.
Yep. I mean, but you know, Ash guy's right. Like, really, you know, for all this talk about how you make the stuff interesting, the next one probably should just be a 2D Mario platforming game with amazing visuals. That's kind of all we really need.
Yeah, that's. I almost do think the visual aspect is more important than some of the gameplay stuff. Really,
absolutely.
And I think 2D HD is maybe the easiest fix that would be good enough to get people say again.
But like sprites, or it looks like sprites. Like that's kind of what we're talking about here. Like I mean, like as much as Ori looks like it is, like, you know, the modern version of a sprite, even though it's not, obviously, but it looks like it is.
I know what you mean. And then Jedi Moss 4 says 2D Mario needs better music. The recent 3D Mario games have been spoiled with grand, luscious soundtracks. While New Super Mario Brothers got cheap MIDI sounds. Yeah, the soundtracks are kind of rough.
I mean, yeah, New Super Mario Brothers is bad. Yeah.
Womp womp.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Womp womp. And then they look at the screen.
And they dance.
It was funny
they
the
turn
first
around.
time,
Yep.
Nintendo.
No. Yeah. Please stop.
Then Beef Hammer says Mario number 9, a game in the style of Mighty number 9.
Oh my god!
With this, maybe have the power from each boss give you platforming related power. You can still have the Koopa Kids as the 8 bosses. It can make them cry like an anime fan on prom night. Jeff, actually, this is one of my mandates. No more Koopa Kids. It was exciting when they brought them back at first, and now they have buried that into the ground. Even over the Koopa Kids for a while.
Yep, for sure. But give me more Bowser Jr. Am I right? Yeah.
No, actually,
no, definitely. Yes, actually, I'd rather have the Koopa Kids than Bowser Jr.
I'd rather have Bowser. Like, do more with K-Mech. I like K-Mech. I want more.
Yeah,
K-Mech.
I mean, and I just like maybe like just mine some of the other parts for like bring back Mouser and stuff like that. Like, just go with that shit. Yeah.
There's a lot of good characters like that. We haven't
Wart.
seen in a while.
Yeah, like
Wart.
Yeah, there should be like the League of Villains, and like Wart and Bowser should be arguing all the time, and Mouser's
Bring
just
back
like
Smithy from Mario RPG.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Smithy, and then what's his I can never remember his name, but the guy with the beard, the bushy beard in Mario RPG that tries to marry Peach.
Oh yes, Booster.
Booster,
right?
yes, Booster would be great, exactly. And then
Booster.
and Mouser's in the background, just always playing with explosives and things like that.
Yeah.
Like that would be fun.
That'd be good stuff.
And then Roy can stay. That's right, Roy can stay.
Roy
he's got cool
Roy's
shades.
allowed. We can have a little Roy as a treat.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff. That's it for this week's topic. Next week's topic is going to be what is your favorite Nintendo racing game? There's a lot of good ones. We're excited about Wave Race 64, but it's not the only good Nintendo racing game. So, what is your absolute favorite racing game that Nintendo has made? So that should be a fun one. This includes obviously all of the Mario Karts and F-Zeros and a bunch of other things. So the BSC. Hi, Rachel. She likes your shirt, Jeff.
Thank you.
I have to get some louder shirts. You're stealing attention from me. I don't like it.
Yep. I mean, just get a little paisley in your life. It'll really it makes everything pop.
Jeff, would you like to read some super chats?
I would, yes. First, I want to thank everybody who re-upped their membership on YouTube this week. Also, if you are watching live, let's get those likes to 100. We got about 200 people watching. The likes are at 84. Hit that thumbs up button. Let's help people find the show. People that re-up this week include Christopher Minotti, Hired Sword, and Rigo Romero, as well as others. Thank you so much. Let's see. Let's start with this one from Bare Chested Bandit. Not sure if I should get my hopes up, but is there a possibility of Ogre Battle 64 getting a remaster if the new Tactics Ogre game sells well, or does the whole Nintendo exclusivity kill that chance? I think it's tough to say. I don't know, though.
Right, and I'm not super familiar with Ogre Battle versus Tactics Ogre. Again, I kind of understand, but not really. But I think those are two separate companies that own that.
Yeah, so Atlas developed it. Nintendo published Ogre Battle 64, so you wonder if that makes it a little bit more likely. Probably not still.
It will just be an NSL game, and that'll be pretty cool.
That'd be great.
Should be exciting. Like, obviously, Nintendo has no problem releasing JRPGs, right? So, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it.
This one from John Cody. Yoshi's Own is not a good game. Jesus Christ. Chris Harden, stuck at work, just need someone to say Xenogears so I could feel something again. Thanks. Yeah, sure, Xenogears. I'll say it. I'm not afraid to say it.
I wouldn't be shocked if that does get the 2D HD definitive edition treatment at some point, Jeff. People really like Xenogears. When I did, I would do like a lot of these Twitter question things like, "What's your favorite like JRPG?" It's not Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest. Xenogears was probably the most popular answer.
Yeah,
Knocked out those two. There's
I
a
mean,
lot of fans.
it was it was like it was definitely a big deal when it came out in that post Final Fantasy VII JRPG crazed time.
But even like the other games like that, like Legend of Dragoon, and Legend of Dragoon also has people who are upset they don't do more with that again. But Xenogears seems to be in a different plane still.
Right. I mean, Xenogears is actually from Square, right? SquareSoft,
Right.
and
Yeah.
then
Legend of Dragoon was actually Sony first.
Sony. Yeah, exactly. So it's like it felt more like an imitator. But yeah, that's just me like going from the outside. No, didn't play many of those games. From Jeremy G, you watching Hard Knocks, Grubb? I will be. I went looking for it before the first episode was out. I have HBO. I will be watching Hard Knocks with the Detroit Lions. Absolutely.
Nice.
Yes. Eric the Wiz, when will we see a new 3D Donkey Kong game, Donkey Kong 64 2? Hopefully never.
Well, not that, but I mean, one of the rumors is that the next
Yeah, but that
game
rumor
from the
always said
Mario
was like
team
2D, right? So
yeah, then one rumor said 3D. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Donkey Kong, Jeff. It still seems to me like the next main Donkey Kong game would just be another Donkey Kong Country, but obviously Retro is busy right now, so I'm just not sure. It is weird that we might go through the whole Switch lifespan and not get a new Donkey Kong game released for it.
let's see. From Corey Tinderington, the last place I expected to see a Ninjala Banner advert was at Seattle's baseball stadium, but here we are. Thought the game was long dead by now. I mean, well, Seattle does still have... I mean, Nintendo no longer has their stake in the Mariners, but Nintendo's still based in Seattle, probably still has a lot of relationships with, like, local advertising firms and, relationships with the Mariners and stuff like that. So, Ninjala, yeah, showing up at Mariners games. Of course they are. Alejandro Temez, Beef and Cheddar boys, thanks for the content. Jeff, I listen to almost everything you do now. Keep up the hard work. Shout out to Jay Ochoa and Lucy J. Yeah, shout out to them for sure. They've been putting a lot. Yeah, I'm like getting to know like some of the stuff that Lucy and Tam do during the day. They are always working on like 50 things. They got like
that mobile like game show.
Yeah, right. They're exactly like they are putting together themselves, and then like. Me and Riker got an email saying, "Hey, you guys want to help us work on this like holiday gift guide for like for CNET and all this other stuff?" And we're like, well, "Yeah, we guess." And like Lucy's like on that thread, like, "Yes, I'll handle this. We'll do it." I'm like, "Jesus Christ, Lucy! Like, do you ever stop working?" So yeah, and then of course like Jan fucking runs everything. Tim Derek, Jeff, I just want to thank you for your coverage on GB and on Game Mesticides for Cult of the Lamb. This game is my new addiction. Very good stuff. Yeah, I think it's the kind of game where. It's just gonna hit the spot for a lot of people because when you
play it.
Yeah, I think it's like if you just are in the mood to fill up some meters, it's one of the best ways to fill up meters you can get in games right now. So
you like meters.
Yep, I think you're gonna dig it. That does it for the super chats, Mike.
All right then, Jeff. Well then, I guess the only thing to ask you now is what Nintendo games have you been playing?
I've been playing Xeno. What is it? If not,
Xenogears
Xenogears.
Blade Chronicles 3.
Yes. The Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is fun. I think I like it quite a lot for what it is. Like, let's be clear that this is not normally my kind of thing, but I got through that early big anime cutscene where they lay the groundwork for like the stakes of the world and the relationship, like the key relationships and your key abilities. And I'm like, yeah, I really want to get these kids together with those kids and like have them like have relationships. I want them to live. I like that we met the the character, the mentor character who then dies and stuff like that. Like you think that's a spoiler, guys? It's just a hero's journey. It's going to happen. Of course it is.
Old people never die in movies.
Right, exactly. He's just like telling them like what you have to go live. And it's okay, this shit owns. This is really working for me. And then when I get in combat, I'm mostly just like, yeah, so timing these cancels into my arts is satisfying to me and making sure I'm positioned correctly. It took me a while. Like I was like being over aggressive with like telling my characters to attack one target. And that was causing me to die a couple of times. And then once I like sort of let up and was just like, no, let's just like let my character auto attack and let the characters figure out their own things. And once I started doing that, it was like everything kind of just fell into place and I was really enjoying myself. But that that world, those characters, the friendships that they are exposing us to early in that story, and characters like Guernica, they rule. So I'm pretty into it. I think this is a game that just gets started quickly, and I appreciate it for that.
That's good. I keep saying I'm going to start soon, and I want to. I need to find a good amount of time to start a JRPG. Really, like I can't just play it like 3 minutes.
Yes, of course, yeah.
So I got to find time to start it. Maybe tonight I will. I got something like reviewy that I'm playing on my Steam Deck, so I've been playing kind of that before bed for a little bit instead right now. But I do want to go and start it. But I also did just beat Live a Live, so it's like, yeah, a little bit of a buffer between 2 JRPGs.
Sure,
is always a nice thing to have.
Yeah, absolutely. I did try to go back because I played Xenoblade Chronicles on my Monday stream, and I think I want to kind of maintain that cadence, even though I do want to go back and play it like on my own time. I wish I could, and maybe I should just like stream it other days of the week. But for now, like playing it on Mondays for a couple hours at a time has been fine. But like when I want to play something else, then I wanted to go back to Pokemon Legends Arceus, and I really did. I completely forgot how to play that game. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, I need to go back to camp. And then just like slowly walk out and see if I can remember how to throw out the Pokemon and stuff like that. And once I kind of, I want to finish that game and I want to play it. I'm like in the mood for it. So that's going to happen. And that game came out this year. So it's like, game of the year contender for me. Like not going to be number 1, but could definitely be in the top 10. So I want to keep playing
top
it.
10 somewhere.
Yeah. It's just fun for me. So,
fun.
Yeah, and then that's kind of been it. But then there's a few other things I've been playing here or there, but not much else on the Switch.
Yep, that's about does it for me too, Jeff. So look at this. I think we have come to the end.
Yeah, I'm hitting the button.
Hit it. We are once again the last Nintendogs. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening to the show. We appreciate your support. We'll be back on Thursday with Game Mess. Besides, Jeff, you will be on Giant Bomb tomorrow morning for Game Mess Mornings.
Yes, I will.
Is it a Jan Day tomorrow?
Tomorrow's Lucy. It's going to be me and Lucy going over the news. Looking forward to it. Absolutely. Then tomorrow afternoon, look out for 3 Gokus and a Cena. We will be playing Fortnite. We believe Abby's going to be with us, but it will definitely be me, Mike, and I'm sorry. Well, Mike, we can't.
I'm not invited.
Wait, if Abby's not there, you just show up, all right? Because you can help us get those W's. It'll definitely be me, Dan, and Jan. Yeah, wait, we got it. We got a W tonight when we were working together.
Good.
So yeah,
we're pro gamers.
Absolutely.
Bought Mario Kart apparently.
I bought Goku, so we're gonna strut that stuff. So
I bought Bulma.
I love it. Bye, everybody.
I love Grim Total's ass. Apparently, I missed Lossian's answer somehow.
Hey, we're still online if you want to say it real quick.
Well, yeah. All right, yeah, we're still live. Apparently, I missed Lossian's answer to the question, so we're going to do it right now. Question. Okay, so where was this? Lossian. How did I miss it?
I thought you might have skipped it. He said, I would make it a HD 2D graphics, and for the real twist, you play as Peach and Daisy, and you have to rescue Mario and Luigi.
That's pretty good. I think I missed it because I thought I saw HD 2D. I was like, well, I already read the one about HD 2D.
Yeah.
That was my bad, Lossian. I hope you still heard this. Hopefully you're still there.
There's your bonus content, everybody. All right, bye.
It's all about Lossian post-show.
Let's go cruising, everybody. We'll see. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
I love Grim Total's ass.